Help me, Triple H! Brock's gonna kill me! I'm gonna die! Sorry, had to channel a little Pookie from New Jack City. Anyway, hello folks, shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you some more awesome videos. So, it's Monday night. You know what that means? Time for some Raw. We are 4 weeks away, from the next pay-per-view, Battleground. And we've got some matches set up. So, what's gonna happen? We open the show with him, the breaker of worlds, the destroyer of hope, the killer of dreams, the eater of souls, nature's perfect predator, the perfect storm, the walking execution, the living death sentence, the devil's nightmare, the one-man crime spree, the beast, Brock Lesnar. He comes out to a ruckus ovation, sporting his new Suplex City t-shirt. I want to get one. And of course, to give us some auditory sex is Paul Heyman. I'm not even going to spoil any of this for you. Paul Heyman does a masterful job of selling Brock Lesnar and the match, and selling the fact that Brock Lesnar is going to annihilate Seth Rollins, who is sans without his crew. So after that, we segue right into the first match of the night, Dean Ambrose versus Kane. Now, this is an okay match to start out with. Always good to see the Titty Master, and Kane is good at what he does, which is just wrestle adequately, until Seth Rollins comes out and gives him a hand, literally handing him the match. I know what this is. You know what this is. The announcers know what this is, the fans know what this is, and even Kane knows what this is. Seth Rollins is scared of Brock Lesnar, and he wants to get the authority back on his side. So he's going to be sucking a lot of dick. Also, before this, Brock, in order to come back, had to apologize to the announce team for literally taking 50 years off their life the last time he was there. So he goes over, and of course, the announcers are scared shitless of him, even though he's trying to apologize. He shakes JBL's hand, and he gives Michael Cole noogies. And Michael Cole looked like he was about to hit bricks when he was seeing it. So it's funny that Brock Lesnar is the only guy who can cause people to be scared shitless of him just by giving an apology. Yeah. So anyway, this was a clever tactic, not so clever tactic, by Seth to get the band back together, to get J&J Security and Kane back on his side, because, well, he's fighting Brock Lesnar. What do you expect? Kane sees through it and just gives him and just blows him off. Let's see. If I'm remembering this out of order, please forgive me. I believe the next match we have is a tag team match. The tag team champs, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, the Primetime Players, against Victor and Connor of the Ascension. This was a good match. Fair enough. Let me just say, I like the tag team division in the WWE now. It's deep enough, it's got legit tag teams, and we can have some great matches. This is a great little match that we had. So it shows that the Ascension are not total jokes, that they're still in contention for the titles. But needless to say, the champs take it home. We segue immediately, and I mean immediately. The Primetime Players haven't even left the ring as Sheamus comes out, getting ready for his match with Roman Reigns. So next up we have Roman Reigns versus Sheamus. We already had this match on SmackDown, but it got interrupted because of Bray Wyatt shenanigans. This was a nice, physical, brutal matchup. Sheamus is what he used to be, where Roman Reigns was now. Just a big guy who was pushed too hard, too soon, who didn't refine himself, and kind of suffered because of it. But only in recent years has he really come back, because he has found himself, increased his repertoire, and can pull off 5-star matches. So take notes from him, Roman Reigns. He's what you want to be in the future. But anyway, the match comes to an end when Bray Wyatt cuts a promo He looks like he's having tea with someone. And he's singing, what is it? I'm a Little Teapot, which is really creepy. So he's making it assume that he's talking to Roman Reigns' daughter. So he runs back. Match ends. He finds the room where the promo was being cut, and it's just pictures of him all over the wall saying, "You were not the one," and "liar," and "anything but fair," I believe. And just there was some real Attitude Era creepiness right there. A lot of people, including the Spoony one, don't really like this feud, but I myself like it because it's certainly different from the ones that he's had up until now, where they're just throwing him against the biggest big guys to show off how freaking strong he is, and not having a nice cerebral feud to have. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. I like the mind games. Next up, J&J Security, or Jay and Silent J as I like to call them, are approached by Seth. The architect is like, "Hey guys, I was just playing," and they're like, "Hey, it's right here, buddy," and they go off. All right, next up, Divas match. Divas match. The Bella Twins, accompanied by Alicia Fox, versus the team of Naomi and Tamina. Now, again, I've said before that I have no faith in the main roster divas, and I'll tell you why. The simple fact is they don't strive to be more. This whole give divas a chance thing, we're giving you a chance, but unfortunately, the chances you're given are fucking us. What I mean is this: with the NXT divas, they're striving to be better. Every match they want to outdo the last match they had, and they are technical and marvels of wrestling that you couldn't believe come from women in the WWE. Everyone is still talking about Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. I keep mentioning this in every video now, it seems, because every Divas match on the main roster pales in comparison, because they went out and they took it to the limit. They threw the bar down and set it up so high that there's no way on God's green earth the main roster could ever reach that high. I mean, it's rare for us to get a good Divas match. On average, they're passable, but never one is going to be a great Divas match. And this is the reason why I don't like this whole main roster thing with Paige, because all the divas on the main roster act like catty high school bitches, throwing food at each other, whispering behind their backs, turning against each other for the drop of a hat, and they seem content with the way things are. This is why the Bellas have been on top, because they're the bitchiest of all the bitches. They're not better wrestlers than everyone else. They're just the biggest bitches in an entire roster full of bitches. And I'm not meaning this in like a disrespectful way for women. They're just acting like catty bitches. Instead of improving themselves in the ring or on the mic, they just settled for just being this. This is reason why I don't have faith in these women. If I want to watch decent wrestling or good wrestling out of females in the WWE, I have NXT for that. Divas on the main roster, go away. Piss break. Bellas win. Don't care. Next match. I'm trying to remember here. Alright, next up we have Neville versus Kofi Kingston. Kofi looks happy for a dead guy. Why? Because on July 4th, WWE will be showing for the first time ever, performing in Japan at their world famous sumo hall, and Brock Lesnar will be wrestling. Who, you may ask? Why, Kofi Kingston. The power of positivity is not going to save you from the hellacious ass beating that Brock Lesnar is going to incur upon your body. Yeah. Scream all you want, Xavier Woods. You're not going to be able to save him. Right now, Kofi's doing this. No, they rock. No, they rock. No, they rock. I'm gonna die. Anyway, this was a good match. Neville and Kofi worked well together. After some outside shenanigans that were exasperated by the primetime players, Neville hits the red arrow, picks up the win. Next up, John Cena speaks out about the challenge that Kevin Owens, the man, issued him. It turns out he wants Cena's champion. He finally wants Cena's U.S. title, not because for any reasons like because of what it represents, but only because it'll just shit on John Cena's day. And this is why I like Kevin Owens so much on the mic. He's just so good at you rarely see psychology like this. And it makes Cena seem like the bad guy, or it makes him seem like a complete arrogant fuck up. And I like it. So we talked about how if he doesn't accept this challenge, then he will be everything that Kevin Owens says he is. So he decides to, yes, he is going to accept the challenge. He was going to defend his U.S. title in the rubber match at Battleground in 4 weeks. Kevin Owens comes out saying that he's like a honey badger. He gives no fucks what anyone thinks or says about him. He just does whatever he wants. But he says he's going to make it so that John Cena gets cheered unanimously and starts cutting a promo in French. I can't speak French, so I can't say, but it would sound pretty awesome. And does exactly the job it does. It gets the crowd on John Cena's side, which just shows you how masterful Kevin Owens is on the mic. That he can say what he does and does what he says. John Cena even shows some bilingual abilities by speaking in a little bit of French and a little bit of Chinese. And so, but Kevin Owens came out on top on that one because he's like, hey, I already know what you're going to say, so go ahead and say it, I don't care. Cena's speechifying does not affect Kevin Owens in the least. And Triple H and Stephanie are just so pleased with Kevin Owens. And when Seth comes in, he's like, hey, I need some help here. I'm not scared of Brock Lesnar. I just want to get the people back together. And Steph's like, well, you're going to have to apologize. But why? And Triple H lays it out on the line like, yeah, let's cut the crap. You're scared of Brock Lesnar, aren't you? You are scared shitless of him. And you know what? That's a smart thing. You should be scared of Brock Lesnar. If you weren't scared of Brock Lesnar, then you would be the dumbest sumbitch alive. Because Brock Lesnar kills people. He doesn't get in the ring to wrestle people. He gets in the ring and hurts them. He destroys people. Did you see what the fuck he did to John Cena? Did you see what he did to The Undertaker? Did you see what he did to me? He broke my arm. Twice! And I'm still scared of the motherfucker. And I'm his boss. So if you want to be smart, Seth, you're going to have to get in that ring, get down on your hands and knees, and start sucking 3 dicks like no one else sucked 3 dicks to get them on your side, because you're going to need all the help you're going to get. Alright, so after that, what else? Next up, Dolph Ziggler takes on Adam Rose. I'm going to do my best on little Karibo joke. Adam Rose! Adam Rose! It was a good match. Passable. And of course, my boy Dolph Ziggler wins and gets Lana to let her hair down, and oh, it is glorious. Rusev backstage pitches a fit, and I think Summer Rae comes. I don't know if that was Summer Rae, I couldn't tell. Because I had something in my eye. It just looked all blurry to me. If it was Summer Rae, please let me know. But yeah, she said she don't need Lana. And well, that happened. Also, oh, before I forget, we also had King Barrett versus Zack Ryder. King Barrett, of course, won because if he lost, but this was a no-win situation for King Barrett. If he lost, he'd be losing to Zack Ryder. If he won, he'd only beat Zack Ryder. Lose-lose. Also, before I get to the end, my friend and loyal subscriber to the show, Griffoon, asked me to mention this, so I'm going to take off my hat, because this is serious. Now, today is a very somber day, because today, 8 years ago to this very day, the worst tragedy in the history of professional wrestling took place. Chris Benoit, one of the most technically gifted and tenacious wrestlers to ever step in the ring, suffering from mental defects brought by concussions and steroid abuse, killed his family, his wife of many years, and his 8-year-old autistic son, and then killed himself. That was probably the darkest day in professional wrestling since the death of Owen Hart, the tragic, unnecessary death of Owen Hart. And it's a death that deeply affected the industry as a whole because it changed the way wrestling and head injuries are taken, because this was entirely preventable, but they didn't know how to deal with it. Now, the reason I bring this up is because of something that goes on WWE Memes. If you don't know, it's a page on Facebook that creates funny wrestling memes using still photographs and what have you. Now, the one that I'm going to get on the record and say this, just be done with it. I hate the Chris Benoit memes. Not only because they bring it up, but they make light of the fact that he killed his family. Particularly on Father's Day yesterday, where there were tons and tons of memes talking about making light of the fact this guy murdered his entire family. He murdered his wife, and he murdered his 8-year-old son. And they were just making jokes about it. And this is ironic because a few months ago I made a meme that featured John Wick's dog. If you don't know, John Wick is a movie about the titular character who goes on a revenge spree because some Russian mobsters killed his dog. And it was nothing graphic or violent. It just had a picture of the dog looking so cute with the phrase, "This post killed John Wick's dog." And I got so much shit for it, and people were like, "Oh, you went too far. That was too far. You're just a sick motherfucker." I got so much flack for it that it got deleted. That I deleted it off WWE Memes. So let me get this straight. A meme about a fictional dog fictionally dying in a fictional movie about a fictional killer who fictionally kills an entire fictional criminal organization is bad. But a joke about a guy, a real person, murdering his family in cold blood, including his son, is funny. That legitimately pisses me off. And if anyone, I will not find those particular memes funny. I will not find any meme about Chris Benoit funny. It's not that I hate Chris Benoit. I hate how it ended. I hate how his life ended. And I hate that the fact that that despite all the accomplishments and things that he has done in the industry, he'll never get into the WWE Hall of Fame because of this incident. I mean, there are no saints in the WWE Hall of Fame. I know that well enough. There's a lot of those guys have done some downright dirty and nasty shit. But I know that Chris Benoit will never enter the Hall of Fame because regardless of how many main events he's had, how many 5-star matches he's had in ECW, WCW, and WWE, it will always, always end with the phrase, "In the end, he killed his family and then killed himself." That right there will never allow him to get into the Hall of Fame, and I agree with it, and rightfully so. Making memes about and trivializing it is just the same as making memes about Brock Lesnar F5 in the Twin Towers on 9/11. It goes too far, and for people to actually think that shit is funny, just if you find those Chris Benoit memes funny, then you need to click off my channel. And just don't subscribe to me because I will never find that shit funny. 3 people died. An 8-year-old boy who never got a chance to live died, murdered by the man who he loved more than anyone else in the world because he had mental issues that were not addressed properly. And that's not funny. That is not funny. It's just not as funny as people talking about what happened in South Carolina with 9 people getting killed and joking about that. If you don't find that funny, you shouldn't find what happened with Chris Benoit, the Benoit incident, funny either. So yeah, I do not, nor will I ever, find any meme about Chris Benoit or the actions he took to kill his family funny. You can quote me on that. Alright. End of the show. Seth calls in his boys, J&J Security, J and Silent J, and Director of Operations Kane, and he basically gets on his hands and knees and sucks their dicks in front of everyone. Tells them how much that J&J inspired him because they've been in the business a lot longer than him, and he says that Kane was his favorite wrestler. Then Brock Lesnar comes in. All three of them get out of the ring, and it looks like, and Brock gets on the apron preparing to send him on a one-way trip to Suplex City. And Kane and the others backtrack and attack Brock. Bad mistake. Brock destroys them. He gets in the ring, and Seth eats 3 suplexes. He's in the outskirts of Suplex City. Kane gets back in the ring, tries to fight him. He eats a suplex. He's on the city limits of Suplex City. Then Seth and Kane and Silent J are beating him down, and I'm like, you better kill him because if he gets back up, he's gonna kill you all. So they destroy his leg. He gets choke slammed, he gets kneed in the face, and he gets pedigreed, and he's left laying in the ring. So this at least makes Seth look a little bit stronger. So that's how it ends. My thoughts? It's a nice little build-up to the show, to the Battleground pay-per-view. The matches were passable. I'll just say it at least. This was just a build-up. They built up a nice few angles for the the tag team title match and the Intercontinental title match. I completely forgot the Intercontinental title match. It just kind of happened. I'm sorry. Ryback took on Mark Henry. Ryback flew. There's nothing more you need to do. So anyway. It's nice to see Brock Lesnar on Raw, even though he got beat down. Unfortunately, they didn't kill him, so he's going to come back even stronger because Brock Lesnar is a Saiyan. Whatever doesn't kill him makes him infinitely stronger. So yeah, now and Seth has the crew back together, so at least now he stands a tiny bit of a chance. Before he had no chance. Now it's a chance. So that's my video. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe below. Got any questions, comments, or you want to discuss any other topics that I talk about in this video? Leave them below. I'll get back to you. If you want to support the channel, just click an advertisement or two. It really does help out. Or if you want to donate directly, tip jars up there. I could get a burrito. So until next time, this is shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, saying good night. And you didn't kill him. You didn't kill him, and he's going to kill you all.